Welcome back, friends, to another video. I wanted to do something a little bit more personal this week and just talk to you guys about some things that I've been thinking about. So we've all just gone through a worldwide pandemic, and it's been hard on everybody. A lot of people have lost their lives. We're at the point now where vaccinations are starting to roll out, and communities everywhere are having this conversation about how to open up their economies, and businesses are starting to reopen. So I thought now is a good time to sit back and reflect and talk about what I learned from the pandemic. Something that everybody experienced during the pandemic was isolation. I know I certainly did. People went from office environments where they are constantly interacting with people, interacting with their communities, and attending social events, to suddenly people were isolated at home. I spent a lot of time by myself, meditating, doing yoga, journaling, and just thinking. The way we do business has changed forever. A lot of people lost their jobs. Many of us spent time working from home. Everyone was suddenly forced into a different way of doing things. Something that I always believe is that even in the worst situations, you can find something positive. That positive aspect may simply be that you become more aware and understanding. Whenever you go through a situation where you are pulled out of your normal routine, it allows you to take a step back and look at your life in a different way. Because you are removed from your normal workday, you're able to evaluate what is working and what is not. So thinking about the pandemic, what positive thing has come out of this horrible tragedy? Last week, I made a video about Goldman Sachs, talking about workers' rights. Workers at Goldman Sachs are required to work 98 hours per week. Since I have made that video, the leadership at Goldman Sachs have responded to all the bad press they have received by sending baskets of snacks to their employees. Snacks? I think they're missing the point. We have a problem in America. Businesses are taking advantage of their workers by requiring them to work long hours without any extra pay. It is not right. And it doesn't have to be that way. I want to spend some time talking about the deeper problem. It is true that business leaders sending snack baskets to their exhausted employees is part of the problem, but that is not all of the problem. Part of the problem is you. You, watching this video, are part of the problem and you don't even know it. You are allowing businesses to get away with this. I think people are miserable at work, they're exhausted, but they secretly do not want the situation to change because a lot of people are workaholics. Let me explain what is going on. Everyone experiences trauma in their childhood or later on in life. Now, I don't care what your background is, everyone experiences difficult times. And rather than deal with the pain, it is easier to cover it up. People who are high performers and have that natural personality to succeed, they cover it up with work. If you are working, you don't have to think about the pain. Plus, when you are making money, it feels good. Working hard and getting all of these accomplishments makes you feel good about yourself. You can point to the title on a business card and say, "Look, everybody, I'm an accomplished person." Then, with all of your money, you can engage in consumerism. You can buy a lot of things, which also makes you feel good. But actually, what you're doing is you're working 100 hours a week to distract yourself from your own trauma. Think about it. How many people start their day with uppers by drinking caffeine and end their day with downers by drinking alcohol? You are fueling yourself with chemicals to keep you running on this treadmill, but what you're really doing is you're running away from your own pain. This is psychotic, addictive behavior, and everybody does this. It is ingrained in the culture of America. Our culture is built on a really unhealthy attitude about work. This creates real-life problems for people. People are trying to make decisions on how to live their life. It's really hard to know what to do if you exist in this toxic environment. So if you look at successful people, like Elon Musk, for example, he is out there saying, if you want to be successful, you have to grind and you have to work 22 hours per day. And then you have other successful people like Jeff Bezos who say sleep is really important. So which one is it? How many hours do you sleep? How do you structure your life? People end up doing what their job requires them to, which is to work insane hours. And people do not complain because it distracts them from their own pain. The end result is frustration, exhaustion, depression, health problems, and suicide. You are running so hard to get away from your own trauma that you do not realize you're running in the opposite direction of what you really want. What you really want is happiness. To get happiness, you need to run towards your trauma and spend time dealing with your own insecurities so that you can feel at peace. I believe that we can do better. The whole business community can be better. Let me provide an alternative. When you go to work, it can be part of a well-balanced life. You can be happy and healthy. When you are working, you can feel inspired and full of energy to bring value to your customers' lives. Work can provide meaning and fulfillment. But in order for all of this to happen, you have to be content with yourself first. You have to heal your own pain first. This takes more than just a one-time realization. It's one thing to realize what is going on, but just realizing is not enough. You need to spend time alone with yourself. A lot of time. It's just like having a meaningful relationship with a partner or with your kids. You need to put in the time to have a meaningful relationship with yourself. I call this healing your soul. This allows you to spend time dealing with your feelings, thinking about your hopes and your dreams, figuring out what is important to you, and spending time doing activities that you find inspirational. You need to spend time filling up your soul so that it is overflowing and you can give back to others around you. This is why I talk about putting limits on the work week. Businesses are robbing people of the opportunity to spend time working on themselves. You cannot heal your soul while you are at work. And I will always stand up for businesses to have the right and the freedom to make money, but that should not come at the expense of their workers' rights. I don't care what the job is. All workers have the right to work with dignity in a happy and healthy workplace environment. And I will continue to argue that giving workers rights will actually make businesses more money. You cannot argue that all of the depression and the misery and the suicide is not costing our economy money. It may not be showing up on the financial statements, but I am betting that those exhausted employees who are working 100 hours a week are probably sabotaging your business and you don't even know it. I have worked with a lot of businesses, and I have just seen too many businesses take advantage of their employees. They do it simply because they can, and the people in leadership are lazy. One common scenario is the boss will order everybody to work on the weekend so that they can go out and play golf. That happens a lot. If you look at Goldman Sachs, do you think that the CEO is working on Saturday even though he's making his staff work? I doubt it. He is probably out playing golf. It is wrong, and I am calling him out. I believe that people want to work. People want jobs. but work should be meaningful and fulfilling. You need to allow people enough time outside of work to have happy and healthy lives. And if you have a business with happy and healthy employees, you will make more money. I think that we can change our economy, our society, and our culture for the better. Now, there are still people out there who are going to think that I am crazy because what I'm saying is not your typical business advice. The typical advice from people is to work every waking moment on your business and grind your way to success. These same people are looking at their time and trying to use an optimizing equation. They're trying to optimize every little piece of their life. But what they don't realize is that they are optimizing using the wrong equation. The greatest increases in wealth throughout business history come from moments of inspiration and reinventing the way that we interact with the world, not by working harder. What happens to people who focus on work at the expense of the rest of their life is they do make a lot of money, but they end up miserable. It does not matter how much money you have if you are not happy. These are just some thoughts that I have had over the course of the pandemic. I spent a lot of time alone thinking about business, and this is one way that I think that we could run our businesses better. Today is Easter Sunday, and I know that some of you are still in quarantine situations, but I hope that at least in some way you're able to reach out to friends and family and connect on this day. And I hope that you're able to spend at least a little time healing your soul. I'm Zach from Wolves in Finance. Thank you so much for watching. Let's go out and make some money.